my fifth and final 5-year goal is the one that is the most important to me. It is to start my gender transition from female to male. I felt male on the inside for most of my life, but I've been trapped inside a female body, which makes me transgendered. Here are the resources I found to help me reach my goal of gender transitioning. Transgender Teen Survival Guide, Tumblr. This Tumblr blog is a helpful resource for any teen or young person and their parents to get help and answers for all questions regarding gender expression and gender identity, and for anyone who identifies as, including and not limited to, female to male transgender like me, male to female transgender in all stages of transition, non-binary, third gendered, and non-gendered. Some things I like about this blog are its simple, easy-to-read layout, the inclusion of a For Parents and Guardians page, the variety of administrators with different identities, and the structured and scheduled manner of the running of the blog. The blog has a very simple look with a solid pink and blue color scheme to match the transgender pride flag. The inclusion of a page for parents and guardians is very important because a lot of parents and guardians of transgender people or other gender people do not understand what their child is going through and may have many questions of their own. There are 6 administrators running the Transgender Teen Survival Guide, and they are Jay, a trans man, Phoenix, a trans man, Fox, non-gendered, Bren, non-binary, Emery, non-binary, and Chrissy, a trans woman. This variety of identities ensures that the questions from people of all identities can get answers from people just like them. In the blog's description on the right-hand side of the main page is a schedule of what days the blog accepts what questions. This means that if a person needs to ask something about a specific issue, they can check the schedule to know what day the corresponding administrator will be available to answer their question. Each day of the week addresses a different theme or gender, and Saturday accepts all manner of questions. The only thing I dislike about this blog is its aesthetic. Yes, I understand that the color scheme is representative of the pink, white, and blue trans pride flag, but I wish the blog theme was more aesthetically pleasing than just solid color blocking with black text over it. Despite that fact, I don't like this blog's look. I give it 5 stars out of 5. Gina Rosero, Why Must Come Out. This TED Talk, entitled Why I Must Come Out, is presented by fashion model, pageant queen, and trans woman Gina Rosero and is centered around the topic of gender constructs and the problem of transgender suicide. She starts the talk by saying that the world makes you something that you're not. By this, she is referring to the fact that she was assigned male at birth based on the appearance of her genitalia, a fact that many people do not know about her. Rosero says, "You know inside what you are, and that question burns inside your heart. How will you become that?" This refers to Gina knowing from a young age that she was female despite her male birth assignment. She remembers growing up in the Philippines and wearing a shirt on her head, pretending it was hair, and telling everyone, "I'm a girl." She shows a picture of herself modeling in a bikini and says she remembers looking at it and saying, "Gina, you've made it, you've arrived," but later then realized she is only just beginning her journey. Rosero says that all of us are put into boxes by our family, our religion, our society, our moment in history, and even our own bodies. Rosero remembers being at a fiesta and watching as a pageant queen walked out on stage, thinking, "That is the kind of woman I want to be." So when Rosero was 15 years old, she met TL, a transgender beauty pageant manager who kicked off Rosero's pageant and modeling career and helped her to realize it's okay to be transgender. When Rosero's green card went through in 2001 and she was able to move to America with her mother, she resisted at first, not wanting to leave her friends or her career. So it was until her mother told her she could change her name and gender marker and be fully recognized as a female and as Gina in her new life in the States. Her mother also came with her when Rosero had her gender reassignment surgery. Rosero remembers looking at her California driver's license with the name Gina and gender marker F and how powerful that moment was for her because it was like her license to live. But she reminds us that many are not so fortunate. In fact, transgender suicide rates are 9 times higher than any other population in the world. On November 20th, there is a global vigil for those transgender people lost to suicide every year. This TED Talk is Gina Rosero's real moment of coming out as transgender, and is so because she wants transgender people to know they're not alone, so there is no more need for the November 20th vigil. Some things I like about this TED Talk are its brave and informed speaker, its serious and necessary message, and the speaker's openness about her own life and personal journey. Gina Rosero is a trans woman and model originally from the Philippines, but many do not know she is transgendered, or at least they didn't until this TED Talk she presented entitled Why I Must Come Out. And the reason why Rosero must come out was to get the message across to other trans people that they are not alone and that being transgendered is perfectly acceptable and alright, despite what many people may say. I also love the openness that Rosero has in sharing with the world her own life story, from being assigned male at birth to getting gender reassignment surgery and moving to the United States and being fully recognized as female. The only slight downside to this TED Talk is that it's very serious. It's not a lighthearted or humorous video, like a lot of TED Talks can be, but it's not really a negative thing because transgender suicide, and any kind of suicide, is not a laughing matter or something to be taken lightly. I give this resource 5 stars out of 5. The quote I chose to help myself get through being transgender and move towards my goal of gender transitioning is the following. People change lots of other personal things all the time. They dye their hair and diet themselves to death. They took steroids to build muscles and got breast implants and nose jobs so they'd resemble their favorite movie stars. They changed names and majors and jobs and husbands and wives. They changed religions and political parties. They moved across the country or the world, even changed nationalities. Why was gender the one sacred thing we weren't supposed to change? Who made that rule? And that's a quote from Ellen Whitlinger. The thing that resonates with me about this quote is the entire attitude of it. As a transgender person, I totally connect with this quote because I always want to be asking the same questions Whitlinger does of people that don't understand or accept me. Why? So those are the resources I use to help myself get more information about my 5th and final goal for this project. I hope you liked all my videos and got the message I was trying to get across. Thank you so much.